When you love someone deeply, it's natural to want to give your best, to share your dreams, and to make sacrifices. Love thrives on understanding, support, and mutual compromise. However, there is a fine line between healthy compromise and losing your identity in the process. Love, at its best, should elevate who you are, allowing you to grow while still maintaining your individuality. But when love becomes all-consuming, it can be easy to let go of the very things that make you you. At the beginning of a relationship, it's exciting to discover new things about each other. You want to spend all your time with this person, sharing their interests, their world, and their life. In the process of blending two lives together, it's common to make small adjustments to accommodate the other person. You may start watching shows they like, picking up hobbies they enjoy, or even changing your schedule to spend more time with them. These are natural parts of a relationship and often harmless, until they begin to replace the things that once mattered to you. Perhaps you used to love painting, but now the brushes sit untouched because your evenings are spent with your partner. Maybe you were passionate about running, but it feels less important now that your partner doesn't enjoy physical activities. The things that once defined your individuality slowly fade into the background. It isn't intentional, but it's as if, without realizing it, you've exchanged parts of yourself to fit into the framework of the relationship. When you lose yourself in someone else, the focus shifts. Your decisions, big and small, are no longer solely based on what you want or what feels right for you. They are influenced by what will make the other person happy, what will keep the peace, or what will maintain the connection. At first, this can feel like love. After all, relationships require effort and sometimes a level of self-sacrifice. But over time, if you continually prioritize the other person's needs and desires over your own, you start to forget your own wants, dreams, and even values. This kind of loss often goes unnoticed because it's so gradual. You may not even realize how much of yourself you've given away until the moments when you feel a deep sense of dissatisfaction or restlessness that's hard to explain. You may wake up one morning and no longer recognize the person in the mirror. The things that once brought you joy now seem foreign, and your sense of purpose might feel tied entirely to the relationship rather than to who you are as an individual. Losing yourself in love doesn't always stem from the other person demanding too much of you. Sometimes it's self-imposed. You might feel that if you give enough, compromise enough, and love deeply enough, it will secure the relationship. This often comes from a place of insecurity or fear. Fear of being abandoned, fear of being alone, or fear that you aren't enough on your own. When love feels like it has to be earned or maintained through sacrifice, the lines between love and self-betrayal blur. There's also the societal pressure to prioritize relationships, especially romantic ones, over individual pursuits. We are often told that love requires sacrifice, but rarely do we talk about how important it is to maintain a balance between giving to someone else and keeping a hold on yourself. It's easy to believe that being a good partner means constantly putting the other person first, but in reality, healthy love is reciprocal. It doesn't require you to lose yourself. Instead, it should encourage you to be your fullest, truest self. One of the most dangerous aspects of losing yourself while loving someone deeply is that it can lead to resentment. When your needs go unmet for long enough, when your dreams are consistently set aside, or when your sense of self is lost, it's hard not to feel bitter. You may begin to blame your partner for the sacrifices you made, even if they never explicitly asked for them. Resentment grows quietly, often fueled by the belief that the other person should have known what you were giving up, should have recognized your needs, or should have loved you enough to protect you from losing yourself. The process of reclaiming yourself after losing who you are in a relationship is not easy, but it is essential. It requires deep reflection and honesty. You have to ask yourself hard questions. What did I let go of? What parts of myself have I forgotten? What do I need to feel whole again? Rebuilding your identity after you've lost it in love is about reconnecting with your passions, your values, and your sense of self-worth independent of the relationship. Sometimes, this process can happen within the relationship if both partners are willing to put in the work. It involves open communication, setting boundaries, and a commitment to individual growth alongside the growth of the relationship. Other times, it may require distance or even the end of the relationship to rediscover who you are outside of the person you've been with. Loving someone deeply is a beautiful, powerful experience, but it should never come at the cost of losing yourself. True love allows space for individuality. It celebrates your uniqueness rather than asking you to conform. When you maintain your sense of self within a relationship, you can give and receive love more authentically, without fear of losing who you are. Loving someone and loving yourself are not mutually exclusive. In fact, the healthiest, most fulfilling relationships are those where both can coexist. Ultimately, finding the balance between love for another and love for yourself is key. It's a delicate dance between giving and maintaining, between sharing your life with someone and still holding on to the things that make you who you are. In the end, the strongest relationships are built not on sacrifice, but on mutual respect, support, and the freedom to be your full, authentic self.